Howdy y'all, my name is Bryce and welcome to My Wife Threw Out My Card Collection, so I bought a dump to find them all. That's right, this is the name of the game. That's not just a description, it's the name. And sometimes they say, you know, a clear name is crucial and important. However, sometimes brevity is the soul of wit. Let us go. Chrissy would never throw out my card collection, she'd sell it. Just kidding, she would never. Chrissy believes in, like, if your things are important to you, they are important to you. Okay. My wife accidentally threw out my collection of rare Popster cards that I've been collecting since childhood. So I bought a trash bin to find them all. A trash bin? It's a little bit more than a trash bin. Oh, everything with them 12 months coming in. My goodness. Is that Teo? The unlimited Teo? Oh, Betty. The endless Teo coming back from Wobble Dogs. Man, it's been a while since that game. If you sift through the trash, you'll find valuable items, sell them in the online store. You might also find some stranded birds. Let's take care of them and give them nests. Let's get to work. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm seeing another game where I am going to be getting rid of everything. Okay, so let's clean up some trash. All right. Wonder how much space I've got. Okay, I can see. All right, so I can just kind of, like this, just kind of click through. Where do I dump you? Where's the actual... Ah, there you are. Look at him!
Oh, I'm about to get so full. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Okay. You just had to do it once. All right. Okay, and then can I throw it at you? I can. All right. Nice. Is physics based? Ooh, I have energy. Okay. Bye. Take. How do? F. Okay. So there's gonna be a little bit this is where the economy comes in. Guidebook. F1. Let's read a little bit more. Turn on the music. Does it tell me to go out here? Oh, okay. Click. And we're... Hold on. Oh, hell yeah. Epic. I'm going to turn it off because music and YouTube. But, you know, fill a few bags. Oh, I've done it. Gimme, 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 gimme. And, huh! Nice. Let's drink the energy that I got. All right. You just got finished watching Riddlewood Manor. Loved it. Great game. Would love to finish it. Love those kinds of games. It has the, what's that game that the rest of the crew likes that I played a little bit with them? It's the, where you're out, have to do the garden. Oh, I need to drink my juice. Grun? Grun. I'm thinking Grun. In my head, I kept on wanting to say Grodd. And I was like, I know it's not Grodd, because I know who Grodd is. Okay. I should go and look at what the computer's got. I'm assuming that this is how I can replenish my energy. Sell valuables. Have I found any? I don't think I have. Computer? Power. What's power do? Capacity? Ah. Okay. Not enough energy. F. Okay, yeah, looks like I can pull much faster. Oh, I see, I grabbed two things at once now is what I'm doing. Nice. Oh. Need to also grab you. Freebie. Love it. How many of these can I hold? Oh, you can go to the negatives. Wow. Grab it all. Do. We still have more endings than Grun? I bet. Do. Give me back my monies. Give me all my monies. Do. Uh-oh. Oh, Mr. Cola. Mr. Andrew Cola himself. Well, well, well. Look who the cat dragged in. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I saw a video. Are any of y'all familiar with August the Duck? He's one of those commentary YouTubers. He comments on like YouTube drama and stuff like that. You know, I like it here or there on certain things. But he was looking at this TikTok channel called like Catchphrase Guy or something like that. But it's this guy who's like trying to invent catchphrases. So like he just comes up with like random things that he's like, and these are catchphrases that anybody can use. And it's like, these are catchphrases that he wants to catch on. And I'm not going to lie, one of them, I can't stop saying it. He goes, is that an AI dog? But it's not, so it's not just like, is that an AI dog? But is that an AI dog? Which, I guess it's supposed to be like when something doesn't look real, right? When something doesn't look right. Is that an AI dog? But like, I might start saying that. And it's like, how dare this man be so audacious as to say, I'm going to create catchphrases and it actually catches me. Oh man, suspicious feed me dustbins. Do you have those in America? No, we don't have those. I would like to get more energy, you know? I should go and see what that would cost if that's a thing. We do have AI dogs in America. We do. Oh gosh. Alright. Give me some juice. Actually, let's see. Upgrades. Energy. There we go. And then what's beer? Is beer what's giving me energy? Dog. Dog's 1,000. Boston Robotics. Oh my gosh. I'm getting drunk. Have I actually been like getting drunker? Also, is this the Simpsons house? Am I Homer? Is this Fortnite? For those who don't know, it's currently a Simpsons season in Fortnite. I have not been touching it. I probably won't. But in a few months, it's going to then be, or not a few months, in a few weeks, I think, it's then going to be South Park, in which case I'm going to have to. Just have to. Is that an AI dog? Do. You. If it was the Simpsons house, the energy recharge should be donuts. But it could also be, it's Duff Cola, right? Or whatever, Duff beer. Duff Cola. Robot bartenders and waitresses and things, yeah. It's going to become more and more a thing. It's going to become more and more a thing. Like, if we could have a UBI, you know, and for those who don't know, a UBI is a universal basic income. The concept is the government gives you enough money to survive comfortably on, every single person in the country. Just by living, you get taken care of. And then the incentive to create growth and benefit to society and whatnot is just to benefit society. What a novel concept. Our ancestors did it in order to move us out of the Paleolithic age into the age of civilization. But, you know, we kind of lost those skills. Got to bring them back. Studied some archaeology recently and found it fascinating how early cultures, when we lived in societies that were like in the couple of hundreds, we thrive. Doot. It's like we know how to care for a community. Our brains, our social structure naturally can handle a community. Today's election day in New York, and you're so excited for tomorrow. You, of course, cannot vote, though. It's gonna be wild. The numbers coming out of everything, it's very clear that like Republicans are gonna be embarrassed tomorrow. They're gonna be embarrassed. So get ready for the most unhinged Trump tweets tonight, y'all. Get ready. Ashkash, if Mom Donnie doesn't win, we no longer have a democracy. And that's not a joke. That is 100%. If he doesn't win, his popularity is so massive right now. And the fact that Cuomo in the race only seems to be pulling from the Republicans, right? All of the, sorry to people watching this on YouTube like a year later, politics, but like, the evidence only says it should be a massive blowout. You sadly have to spend your election night with a bunch of investors for a work dinner, and you'll lose it if they say something. They're gonna say something, and you're gonna have to bite your tongue, because a capitalist cannot handle a socialist winning anything without being able to put in their 2 cents as to why they have the answers, and why the answer is always, get rid of regulation. Because when given no controlling mechanism, people always make the right choices. You're worried that gutter racism will win as usual. I think that the people who come out when it's just racism fueled, they're all suffering a lot right now, and they're mad at the people who they're blaming for it, and those are the people that are currently in charge. So again, a huge part of it is indifference and jadedness. So it's like, I think what we'll see is just there will be a lot of conservatives over the next 4 years who just never vote again. Mamdani sounds Indian. He is, I believe. Or is he Pakistani? I don't know. But he's certainly of South Asian descent. His mother is Mira Nair, who is Indian, but he was actually born in Uganda. Got it. As is often the case, our best politicians come from diverse backgrounds. Almost like experiencing a diverse array of human experience allows you to better understand and therefore govern. Wild concepts. It's almost like you shouldn't get rich people to make decisions for the poors. All right. Anyway, he's not Irish American. Yeah. Okay, have we found a single valuable thing yet? I think we have not. All right, we're at $420 dudes, 460. Let's see what else we can upgrade now. We can upgrade our beer. We can upgrade the size of our garbage bag. Let's upgrade the beer. I like the idea of being able to actually get more energy, you know? I'm assuming it means I get more per beer, right? So like my ratio is going to be better now. Yeah, double. So then, if I do that, how much do I need for more power? 1,000. Okay. You don't understand politics? I mean, it's very simple. The smoke screen is the idea that because we had democratic revolutions across the world, that meant that the same people weren't still in control. They just found ways of manipulating those same avenues to continue to maintain their control. That's why you've had wealthy white people in America. I'm speaking generally of America, but this is true the world round when it comes to Western nations. They found ways to maintain their power because it's still structured around wealthy people. And so the wealthy have always had power, so they continue to have power. So when the haves have always had control, and they've never had not, they never make decisions for the poor. They believe that their position is justified, and part of justifying being born into a silver spoon lifestyle, but being able to have any kind of opinion about other people's lives, is being able to convince yourself that you belong there and that others don't. And so there's just a huge disconnect when it comes to the wealthy in terms of how they believe they earned and justify the wealth that they have. And you can see this, and I grew up alongside this and even feeling it sometimes myself. But, you know, you grow up and you learn that, like, oh, I'm in this privileged position because my parents made good financial decisions, and I'm smart because my parents are smart. And you all who are struggling, it's because your parents made bad decisions and you deserve to suffer for your parents' decisions, not recognizing all of the economic factors that lead into that. This game's perfect for Price's ranting hour. I know, it really is, huh? I mean, can we talk about the state of waste disposal? You were talking about Indian politics as well. It's the same everywhere. Yeah, it's the same everywhere. Like, you know, the places where they're doing it right are places where you have, like, teachers running things. You know, people who are former teachers. Or, you know, you'll have social workers and whatnot who go into these fields where it's like they've been spending their whole lives serving people and understanding like people at their lowest and their most vulnerable positions and stuff, right? So it doesn't make sense to hire business people to make decisions about people. They don't make people decisions, they make money decisions. They're terrible at people. Sorry. I gotta say this stuff while I still can, you know, in case things go the worst that they possibly can go. We all already know that if things go that bad, I'm not just gonna get to sit by and like, sit it out, because I'll be one of the ones who it's like, you spread the bad words. Gotta say it before they finish the gulag in Utah. Exactly. I think that because of that, it's important for me to be just continuously saying it all. So, you know, Republicans are evil. They don't know how to govern properly. They actually don't want to govern properly. They've been doing everything they can to extract as much wealth from the poor as they could. And because they can sense the shifting of the tides towards a more socialist future in America, they're panicking. They're taking as much as they can. They are making mistakes that are hurting them, but they are also going to make some decisions that are going to hurt a lot of people. We will win out on the other side of this, but things can get a lot worse before they get a lot better. So, always remember when the things get hard, and if those pieces of shit show up at your door and act like they have control over you, fight your damnedest, because they're going to hurt you regardless. Always fight back, spit in their face, and I say this as in not physically, that's assault. But when it comes to the words that you use, you give them nothing. You treat them like the pieces of subhuman garbage that they are. Because if you choose to go and be a part of the ICE Gestapo, if you choose to turn your weapons towards American citizens, towards people who are fleeing poverty and war and famine and everything else, and you say that these people deserve to be ripped from their homes and thrown into camps and whatnot like that, you are not a person anymore. You've left the team. You have chosen the side of monsters. You do not deserve consideration. You deserve punishment and judgment. Anyway, what I love seeing, this is the thing that I love seeing, are politicians like J.B. Pritzker and whatnot who are saying, when this is over, you will be punished. You will be going to prison. Like, even now, when saying that and you have no power could mean like all kinds of negative consequences, still being like, yeah, when this is over, you're going to prison. And that's what I want for every single ICE agent. I hope that signing bonus of $50K was signing yourself up for a trip to prison. That's what I think it should have been. Did you take it? You took the traitor money. Well done. You know when they this is me going, and this is my funny tangent, I gotta say. But you know, they fear the rapture and the end times and the Antichrist and all that kind of shit. And they say, don't take the mark of the beast and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, I'm sorry. The mark of the beast upon your forehead was a MAGA hat. All right. That was the marking your head. Right. Flippin' joining ICE was joining the army of the devil. All right. So, you know, what the hell is that game name? I know, right, Wolf? It's a great one, isn't it? It's a great one. So anyway, just always know, y'all, if the wealthy are against you, you're in the right. Always. Always. I'm gonna underline it one more time. If the wealthy are against you, you are in the right. Always. I have money to upgrade. I will do some. I will do some. It's the beauty of the tangent time, PC man. It's the beauty of the tangent time. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so garbage bag. And I guess the cart, maybe as I get further along, that'll allow me to carry multiple bags back, is my guess. Okay. Let's just fill that energy right up. Hoard it by 100 beers? I mean... Oh no! Just kind of dig around here, you know? I should probably, like, run around the outside, because I bet you they hid some, like, relatively close up, but just, like, maybe not right away. He's so hungry. It's the righteousness that you need with being rich. It's just like, you know, you can't justify being wealthy without coming up with some way. Ooh, that's got to be valuable. Without coming up with some way of saying other people don't deserve basic human decency, right? Because otherwise it's really hard to justify, you know, if you're a millionaire and you walk down the street and you see a homeless person and you don't give them enough money to, like, stay in a hotel for the night, you're a bad person. Like, it just is the case. And I can say this with certainty because I can tell you I have given a far larger portion of my entire net worth to poor people on a regular basis. You know? And so it's like... So you can't be a millionaire and justify your existence. I guess nowadays you'd say billionaire. But, like, you cannot be that wealthy and justify the existence of impoverished people. If you have that much money sitting around in a bank account and you're not using it to feed people, you're a monster. And, like, these are things that we should be saying all the time. We need to be reminding people of these things. To not make these choices is to be actively choosing to let people be harmed. How's the price? Hope you're well. I saw the YouTube post about upcoming Stunt Miss. Super excited. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. We're excited. Stunt Miss is a perfect example of what people can do when they have large sums of money sitting around in their bank account. They can donate to great causes like Stunt Miss. We're raising for Doctors Without Borders. One of the reasons we like to raise with them is because 100% of the money goes to them. We don't touch it. We don't pass it through. Stump gets nothing out of it. We don't get a tax break. We don't get nothing. But we do it because we know we have the ability to help people with our platform. And to not use our platform to do so would be a waste of that platform. Thanks to inflation, you have to be a millionaire to even retire. Yeah, exactly. It's like, as I was saying millionaire, it's like, well, I gotta update and be like multi-millionaire, because at this point you could be a millionaire and be flipping middle class in America. Like, you got $1 million in the bank, but you're not making $1 million a year. You could easily be poor still, which is shocking. Or at least middle class. I won't say poor, but, you know. Advate Stumped has the ability to make you feel not negative, lonely, and bored. I appreciate that. That's what we're here for. If you ever win the lottery, you plan on giving a bunch of Stunt Miss? Oh, that would be incredible. We would really appreciate that. But yeah, just giving it away in general, you know? I mean, I've always said, and this might be just also just mindset stuff, like, I think I frequently now attribute a lot of my personality differences where I don't understand other people to, like, my neurodivergence. Like, I'm realizing, like, a lot of it is, like, I literally don't understand. I thought it was, like, an emotional or moral misunderstanding, but to a degree, I think there are certain things that, like, I don't understand how they motivate people. And so, you know, for me, it's always been, like, obvious that if you make a bunch of money, you give it to people. You know? Like, for me, it was always like, oh, if I made a ton of money, I would want to buy things for the people that I love that would make their lives easier, you know? So, like, one that I've said over the past several years has been, like, if we had the money to, I'd love to buy Chrissy's mom a house. Because she's an incredible woman who deserves it, you know? Kind, generous, wonderful person who's absolutely deserving of that, and I would love to be able to do that. That would be awesome. Better than any possible thing I could buy for myself. Do. Or use the money to create experiences, memories, less free. You got to do something with it at least, you know? You got to go to lunch, stop being so interesting. Sorry, PC man, go eat. Boop, boop, beep, boop, doing silly things. Boop, go do your thing. Okay, we continue. This game's great. Also, is it working by, like, it's building itself as it's going? Like, I think I saw deep within there that there's a mass kind of like this, but it's just deep within there, and then as I'm digging away at it, it's like shrinking and spawning more. I think that's how it's working. But it's like these things are stacked in so tightly that you just can't even really tell. It's great. I love it. Let's save up a little bit more. I'm up in the thousands. I wonder if I can increase the value of basic trash, you know? I love the idea of getting this just, like, delivered to your backyard, you know? And also, huge yard. Like, let's look around for a second. Closed. And this is the demo. So, you know, this may be one where we end up getting the whole thing and completing it. Let's see. Oh, you can get another chomper back here. It goes on for a while. Dumpster expensive to maintain. Oh, yeah. Is this his yard or is it just the dump? Considering there are, like, fenced areas around here, there's a pool and just a, you know, a residential building, it looks like. You know? Like, the pool is really what sets it off for me. And the houses, like, look at that. Oh, and we're supposed to be looking for birds, too. I remember that now. All right, what do we got over here? Cart dog storage. What's the storage capacity? Is that, like, for my bag size? I guess let's go with power. Or is storage, like, can I store things in here? And what's clear maps? Wonder what that is. Wonder if that's, like, clean up, like, if there's too much. Storage is for rare valuables. Oh, if I didn't want to sell them, maybe. We can get a dog. What does a dog do? And more importantly, can you pet it? That's what I'm wondering is, do I buy the dog or do I need to find him first? Because there's this here. Oh, it costs 300. Oh! Hold to buy. What are you doing? He help? Oh, he's probably going to go hunt good things. Because I noticed that it was like, in the thing, it was only saying you could add to the dog, like, the number. What you get? Gimme. Good boy. Found a bird. Look at bird. Oh, gosh, the dog just grabbed the thing. Him find, indeed. Oh, a colorful garden bird with a black head and yellow belly, famous for its varied calls. A great tit. So it's going to be all different. We're going to learn about birds from different, like, that are all the trash birds. I love the idea of a game that teaches you about the trash birds. That's incredible. Oh, that's right. My strength is up, so I'm going to be getting this even more, like, even quicker. Need to buy some more energy. Okay. Enter Brendley Mulligan. Did someone say bird facts? I love that, like, it's become a meme. because he even is like, I don't know why this is the thing. I don't really care about birds. And yet, it's become his thing. Come here. Can't grab it? Oh. Oh. Go. One dog use per 30. They put a price tag on him, sucks. Did he not have it before, or are you just saying in general? Clearing the mountain. But 30's not too bad, you know? How do I move this thing? Go. Will not let me? Throw bags in the trash. Thought I did. Alright. Dog? Okay, it must be on a timer. A lot of European migratory storks no longer migrate to Africa. They instead stay in landfills in Gibraltar, and many die there. The stationary population around my area are doing great, though. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Environmental impacts, y'all. It's what every species does. We've just done it very well. You'd love to have a parrot as a pet? They can be funny. I don't like birds as pets, I'll be honest. I just never was around any when I was younger, so I find them like creepy to be around. Like just them flying and like the way that they are. Like I'm just not very comfortable around birds. But I think just because of that nature of like not growing up around them, so all I'm used to is just like, yeah. The few times I have been, and there are these things flooding around in the sky. It's like, just reminds me of like a moth, but like a really big one. But from afar, I think they're gorgeous. I love watching birds and stuff. I love seeing them. Let's see. Your parents used to have birds as pets when you were a kid. Half your room was a bird cage for the first 8 years of your life. Still not a big bird fan. That's also fair. We were a dog family and rodent family. We had a fair amount of rodents. Lots of, we had rats and gerbils and hamsters, and we always had something, some little critter in a cage. And then dogs. It wasn't until living with Chrissy that I ever had cats. I was missing out. Turns out they're my speed. It's like having a little buddy around, you know? It like, strangely enough, like having Archer around, it reminds me of, like, my little brother. My little brothers growing up, but how they kind of, like, just follow you around, and they want to do something silly, and all that kind of stuff. It's like, but they have their own goals and personality, so it's like, a dog requires you to put in all the effort, I feel like. Whereas, like, cats feel more self-motivated. And as a result, I feel like they're easier. And the personality is part of the charm. Dogs can have personality, but again, it's more like having a child. I've heard people, like, put it, like, simply that, like, having a cat's like having a roommate, having a dog's like having a child. Even though we treat our cats like our children, we care for them in the same way, but it's more like having somebody who, like, lives with you rather than a child, you know? Which I think is why a lot of people, when they, like, try and get something to replace the spot of having a child or to put off having children, it's a dog rather than a cat. Rarely is it ever like, oh, I want to go get a cat instead of having a child. Right? Like in that same way of, let's fill the void until we have a kid. Whenever I've seen people who are like, I want to have a cat instead of having a child, it's because they're like, yeah, I don't want children. You know what I mean? There's a difference, right? Cats are advanced fish. That's funny. You have to clean up a little bit more specifically. You're fine with any pet. I mean, I like animals in general, so I would be fine with any pets. You prefer cats because no one expects you to train your cat. If your dog misbehaves, it's your fault. If your cat misbehaves, well, what did you expect? Well, and I think cats, in general, are better at, like, if they're annoyed at a situation, they'll leave. You know? Like, if a cat gets territorial, yeah, they'll mess you up, and then you're out of there. But it's like, then you're at violence level. Like, at that point, if a dog is at that level, that dog is gonna get, you know, some police called on you. And so, I think that's also part of it. If a cat's annoyed, it's more likely to just leave you the hell alone. And get annoyed if you try and go near it. Whereas a dog is gonna, like, growl at you and try and push you out and maybe jump on you. All that. Says, have a good night, y'all. Good parenting. Okay, bye. Don't panic, go bye. Goodness, y'all. Not even through this stack. I do have some money, though. Let's see if there's something worth buying. Let's see. More garbage bag size, more beer capacity, more power. Let's get garbage bag size. Let's get more dog capacity, so maybe now you can get me an extra one. Why can't I make you do the thing? What's the timer on you? You know, what's the timer on you? Anyone know? Anyone know what I'm missing there? Because now that I paid for it, it feels like I should get it now. Maybe I gotta feed him? What do I feed him? You know? Can't feed him that. Maybe there's stuff I gotta find in here. Oh, do I just not have enough? Oh, maybe not. Maybe I can't, I didn't realize I was so low on money. Yeah, no, it's not coming up. And there's no way to change what's in my hand, just so y'all know. So it's not like I could, like, have an empty hand. You did get the cast to understand the dinner table is off limits while you eat on it. They still consider human food fair game on every other surface. Yeah, we've done a good job. Lana is allowed on the counter. Archer is not allowed on the counter. And it's because of the different ways in which they interact with stuff. And also just because having them have separate spaces is good for them. And so they have learned that structure very well. He is very good at waiting. Every now and then he'll get up on there. He knows he's not supposed to be there. It's Lana's space. She rarely knocks stuff off the counter. He's one, he will get into every single thing that's up there. So it's like he's not allowed up there because he will ruin things. She has manners. Huh. I wish I could just buy like a 12 pack, you know? Just to fill my inventory. Can I crouch at all? No. Just gonna buy a bunch of these right now. Lately, the cats have gotten worse about trying to eat people food, though, over here. Chrissy broke that down. Do we know the max capacity, or are we finding out now? Don't know, like, max. I don't want to sit here and find out, though. I'm digging a hole, y'all. Game about digging a hole. Been here before. Oh my god. We're gonna bury ourselves, y'all. Here we go. This is my nightmare. Reminds you of that dude that lost his PC with his Bitcoin token on it. Is that he literally used to do cheap a lot? Did he? Cheap. That's funny. You try applying temperature. That's funny. Is that a thing? Man, oh man, there's like... I don't... It's unfortunate. I have a friend who, he passed away, like a decade ago at this point. And, you know, this is back even before then. He knew he had a PC somewhere that he had actually mined a bunch of Bitcoin on back when it was like nothing, but he couldn't get into it. Like he couldn't remember how to get in. And then of course, you know, he passed away, and it's sad because man, oh man, if that money couldn't help his family out, you know, wherever that's sitting. I hope that one day they're able to get into it, that they still have it. Do. Little pit. Well, that sounds nice, Advent. It sounds nice having that little pet. Oh God. Kind of launched off of there. I'm curious about... Is there a way to get more carts? Or more bags at a time? So, like, can I do this? Does that do anything? No. Okay. I thought maybe I could throw them into that thing. Okay. Oh, that's sad, Advent. It's sad when pets go. They are our family at the end of the day. Get all them things. We are going to accomplish this. We're going to do it. It's so funny because it's like we're gonna eventually find valuable things, and they're all gonna be at the bottom. I feel like at the bottom we're gonna suddenly find like all the valuables, but it's just, you know, underneath the pile of junk. Do. Okay. Buying all them things. Alright. Okay, so, anyway, y'all out there watching, what y'all been playing? Anything new coming along? Oh, there's something down there. Oh, energy. You can see there was... Something was sticking up down there that was a little different. Outer Worlds 2. It's good. So, I don't know much about the Outer Worlds. I remember people saying that, like, I should check it out. But is it different than Outer Wilds? Because they are different, right? Because I've played neither. Because I've been told to play both. And I've always been confused. This game is so silly. Can we just appreciate how silly this is? Very good. Squirrels everywhere. Your first experience with a pet death also taught you that your mom will absolutely dismiss you or lie to you in certain circumstances. She remembers it completely differently. Of course. Of course. Yeah, it definitely leaves the pain stays. You learn about... We all learn about death at some point and find our ways of coping. Sometimes it takes us a while. I've been there. Okay, still haven't used the cart for anything. Storage hasn't really mattered, so let's get more... I guess let's just go through the list and kind of build these up. Can you get used yet? Do you only get one? Very confused on it. Can you put multiple garbage bags in the cart? That's the thing, is like it only seems to let me have the one cart, and I can't even put the bag in it, so I don't know what the point of this cart is the thing. So there's something I'm clearly missing. Maybe I need to upgrade the cart, and we'll see if that changes something. So let's go do that. Upgrade it once. So, like, here's the cart. Connect. Like, is it for putting the little things in? Like, maybe all the valuables? Boing, boing, boing. Ah. Freebie. Oh, energy. Whoops. Oh, wow. I like fill almost the entire thing now. Very cool. Weep. Oh, I think I saw something. Yeah, there's like a little plushie in there. You can see him down there. He's right... No, not here. Where'd he go? There. Haha, it's a little boo-boo! It's better be worth $1,000. $50. It's a crap one. Burn it? Maybe so, maybe so. A nightingale was your first pet? Yeah, that's not a common one. That's not a common one. I think that would be considered a wild, an exotic pet here. That's like, I looked into it before. You can't have a pet scrub jay. And I don't think you can even legally have crows as pets, if I think about it, actually. Like, there's certain birds that you're not allowed because of the sounds that they make. But crows, honestly, I've thought about, and I maybe something that starts to happen at some point over the next couple of years, is feeding the crows around here. You know, as many people know, as many people said, you get, they are smart. They are, like, loyal. I think that having a good relationship with your local crows, probably very beneficial. Probably very beneficial. All right? Silent allies, ever present, incredibly intelligent. In a way, it's like becoming friends with every dog in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? And the thing is if you think about that, and these are true things, like, it's one of those ones where it's like, this does happen. But, like, if the birds recognize you and they like you and they see that somebody is bothering you, they'll mob them. You know? They will do what they can to take care of you, because it's like, I mean, there's the very selfish, like, mutually beneficial part, but they're also smart enough to kind of develop that closeness. Like, they mourn their dead and stuff, so they actually develop fondness and relationships. So, you know, you show love and affection to an animal and they give it back in turn. They don't have politics telling them that they hate you for some reason, right? They only have the evidence of their eyes and ears, and they're trustworthy. BRB crying about the purity of animals. It's true though, right? It's kind of like how they say, like, animals are a good judge of character, right? You can't bullshit an animal. You can manipulate and trick animals, right? You can raise them to do horrible things, but you can't bullshit an animal. So if you're around somebody who's full of bullshit, suddenly the animals, it's like, wait, why are you responding that way? And it's like, oh, because they're not listening to the bullshit. They're just paying attention to the person. All right, y'all. We are making a dent. Full on Harvey up in here. Do, do, do. Let's see. If you ever go back to Australia, maybe you should make friends with the local magpies. They're vicious. I've heard. Over there, they are ruthless. From what I understand, they attack anything shiny, right? And like bike helmets and things. Oh, did it not go in? Ah, darn. Now they have over 1,000, maybe I can activate the dog. You think, oh, you think it needs 1,000 now? No, I mean, it cost 1,000 to upgrade him, but I already upgraded him once. And it didn't do anything. So there's something up with the dog. This is the demo, again. So, you know, maybe there's some limitations they're not letting us know. Let's look at the guide. F1. It's not, I can't pull it up. F1 is not pulling anything up. That's fine. Again, it's the demo. But if we like it, if I end up deciding I want to, because I'm assuming all we get is this one pile, I may want to just go ahead and buy the game and play through it. But we'll at least finish through this demo, I'm assuming within the next half hour, an hour. And then we'll probably check out one of the other demos that I downloaded. But this, straight up, it's just 100% reminding me of a game about digging a hole, you know? Crows, you'd say, are pretty symbolic. Crows are symbolic everywhere. F1 isn't working in the demo. Yay, we found a bug. There is a bug! And we know they have a death ceremony. Yeah, I mean, crows... They mourn. They're intelligent. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. There's a great book that I remember reading in college, and I'm sure a lot of the scientific ends of it are now, like, debunked or, hey, we got a Switch! Or I guess a Steam Deck? I forget which one this is. It looks slightly different, right? Or is this a Switch? Okay. There's a Switch? Okay. I couldn't tell, like, if it was, like, with the controllers or not. Alright, what was I trying to say? Oh, there's this book. Fascinating. A lot of the, science behind it has probably been updated, potentially debunked, but there's a principle there that, is well known, which is that animals that become intelligent species are omnivores. They eat a variety of foods. Because in order to be able to tell which foods are and aren't poisonous, and you have a larger variety of foods that you can pull from, then suddenly you're going to need a wider variety of tools to be able to discern what foods are and aren't safe. So that there's something valuable's over here. It made a noise. So social structures, highly complex social structures, while they can evolve in herd animals and whatnot, they have a basic social hierarchy to them because it's just about protection. But animals developing communication, highly complex communication strategies, are discussing food, generally. It's food and safety, but it's food. And you need a very complex ability to communicate things about this food's safe, this food's not safe, I ate this and tried this, you tried that and it did this. It requires complexity. And so the more complex the diet of a creature, the more intelligent it needs to become in order to accommodate that diet. Hey, I need one of these. I need one of these on my own. Do. Let's see. You also learn the social species equals language thing in uni? Yep. Yep. It's all about cultural communication. It's about communicating information that will aid survival, either of yourself or of your family. And then everything else around that is either an accidental symptom of or a benefit to survival for those species. So we have one of the most varied diets in the entire animal kingdom, and hence we have one of the greatest intelligences there are. Now, the real question that you can ask yourself from an evolutionary standpoint, and this is the one that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and this is how the slow pace of evolution goes, is that it's actually both, right? Like, you have access to a bunch of foods in your environment, so you slowly try out different foods, and then you communicate that with others, and then you slowly become more smart because you're reinforcing these more complex loops in your language, so then you can explore more diverse sets of foods, so then you can increase your communication capacities even more because you need more words to describe new things. So it's just this endless loop of learning about the environment and growing. And that's why we've kind of lifted ourselves off from evolution in many ways. Can I feed you this? No? You want? You want? No. Fine. Who cares? I got a good chunk of money on me, actually. Just go upgrade some more. F. Is this technically a psych talk for the checklist? I guess you could say that. I guess you could say that. Gosh, I forget what I was... There some basic psychological principle came up the other day that it was fun kind of talking about. Because it's one of those things where it's like a lot of the times things that we all take for granted or things that may seem profound or whatever, it's like, yeah, no, we've known that for a long time. It's this thing. Oh, broken bat. Bonk. No? Give to you? No. Give to you. No? Oh, it's overflowing. Okay. Come on. There we go. And yeah. Okay, there we go. The Mega Bonk bat. Bonk. Is that from Mega Bonk? I need to go back and play that. I lost all my progress because of the reformat, so I lost my drive to play that one, but I should. It's a good one. Let's see. Your professor said that as a social species, you have more things you need to communicate than a non-social one. Non-social species basically only need to communicate back away, my territory, which can be a variant of this former, and let's make babies. Social species communicate more. Exactly. And as a result, a lot of species have no drive to be around others of their own species. Hell, they may not even recognize that they are the same species, because what's the point, right? You know that you need to mate with this thing during these times. The fact that you are even a thing, let alone the same thing, wouldn't even enter into your visual, right? Whereas social species, one of the most important things you're going to immediately be able to identify between creatures is this one's like me and this one ain't. Classroom of the Elite has a lot of psychology and school politics, I think. What is that? Classroom of the Elite. Never heard of that. It's an anime? Got it. Oh, I got money. I need to spend my money. I just get so stuck in the zen nature of just picking things up. Like, look at what we've done. Made a dent. And yet, it's like when you move and you feel like you've done so much and then you look back at your piles of things, you're like, oh my God, I've done nothing. Okay, let us upgrade energy, fear, power. Okay. Yeah, I never watch anime anymore. I don't have an aversion, I just don't have the time, nor the drive. So just assume I don't know it if it's an anime. Always. Beer? Apparently beer is where we get our power, Terratan. Apparently it's beer. You find it so funny that interesting that house cats basically, hold on, developed the meow to ensure survival. Well, yeah, it's actually really interesting, the meowing thing, right? So there's two different types of cat families, meowing cats and roaring cats. So most of the big cats are roaring cats. And the purring cats. Lions can't purr properly. The way that their larynxes are laid out, they can't properly purr. Whereas your regular old cat can. They can do it's like a circular breathing kind of thing. It's really interesting. I learned about this the other day. Yeah. The dogs as well. It's interesting. It's like we simultaneously develop the traits alongside us. But I will say this. The dog will be glitched until a reset. Got it. Okay. They have the capacity to a degree already. And so cats already had the ability to mimic, right? We all know this. If you have a cat, you've seen them probably try and mimic a bird or something. We also know that cats can mimic mice. They'll do like the little kind of thing. And it's like they are trying to coax out animals. It is a survival strategy. And when do they use it? They use it when they're trying to get food. So when cats learned that they could exploit us to get food, because we learned that we could exploit them to take care of our pests, and then we would provide them with all sorts of things, it was a mutually beneficial thing. And they learned that if they made noise, aka if they imitated us, they were more likely to get fed. So when they meow, they're trying to sound like a person to get you to do something for them. Because they don't really meow to each other too often, right? They'll make the other noises. They'll make the territorial noises. They'll hiss. They'll do all that. But they don't really meow at each other, do they? Except for maybe Pip. Pip talks to everyone. He's a chatty little boy. Cats successfully con their humans into feeding them extra food in addition to the mice they were supposed to eat. And have better survival odds. Exactly. Well, and how do you get them to keep killing those rodents, right? There's probably a reason they deliver. Hey, boo. When there's like a fish thing there, or is that just trash? But like that's how you get them to work with you, is you feed them. That's how we domesticated dogs. It was like a mutually beneficial thing. They would follow us around and we would follow them around because we could scavenge off of their kills just like they could scavenge off of ours. Staying near one another meant you were more likely to survive the night. Fire protects against things. We noticed that they weren't dangerous all the time. And so it was just sort of like a slow familiarity. There was the beneficial nature of we could tell when they were hunting something because of the way that they behaved. They knew that we were really good at, like they learned, right, instinctually, that we're really good at tracking long distances and killing things, like having successful kills. And so you work together, right? Mutually beneficial. More likely to survive. And those dogs that were friendlier were more likely to survive. And so the reason that dogs look the way that they do, we selectively bred them for certain goals, right? You feed and breed the ones that are more likely to do the thing that you want. But also a lot of the traits that they developed are infantile. Floppy ears, the nature of their fur, like the softer fur, their nature in how they turn to others to help. There's really interesting studies comparing wolves and domesticated dogs on how long it takes for them to essentially ask for help. Dogs seek people, like legitimately seek people. We've bred them so well that they will look for the monkey that's standing up. Whereas a wolf will not. They'll just try to do a thing, and they will not ask for help. So we bred them to do that. And it's mutually beneficial, because domesticated dogs, more likely to survive and have long, healthy, comfortable lives than wolves. Let's see. But yeah, so cats, it's funnier the ways that we bred them because we didn't breed them for size like we did with many dogs for like guarding and stuff. We just bred them for things like pest control. And then later on for companionship. The wealthy eventually were like, oh, I can just have this dog sit on my lap. Or this cat. And then it was like, oh, that's when the animals really won. That's when the cats domesticated us. We're so lucky to have domesticated species. I think it just speaks to, in general, the nature of animals. Because I do believe, I mean, there's symbiotic relationships between all kinds of species, right? And so in a way that you could argue that the relationship that we developed with dogs and other, I guess just other domesticates in general, was the nature of creating symbiotic relationships. They're one way, right? Or they're loose. So like with herd animals and things like that, like they symbiotically rely on us to a degree. They could survive without us. We could survive without them. But we thrive a lot better when we're with them. But there are some species, right, where it's entirely symbiotic. So the nature of how our relationships developed with those species evolutionarily is the same as those symbiotic type relationships. We just were midway towards pure reliance. Casual Rich with them 8 months. Thank you so much. Drop some bears, y'all. Drop some bears. Cats were used heavily on ships to eat rats, so small size was probably more useful. Absolutely. And some cats developed and were bred for their extra claws to be able to climb better. Like Blue. Blue is one of those cats. Blue has an extra claw. He's a pirate cat. He's named Blue after Bluebeard. Did y'all know that? Some of y'all probably didn't. He's not named Blue because of his color or anything. He's named after Bluebeard the pirate. Blue from Jazz and Ash, yeah. Little boy Blue. He's a pirate cat. You knew Kevin was already named Kevin when Ash and Jazz got him. Yeah, because their other cat before Kevin was named Scooter. So they kind of are a little more creative with their names. I don't think they would have named a cat Kevin, but Kevin was Kevin. He's the only Kevin I'll ever think of. You're wondering why it's called Blue despite not being blue? Yeah, exactly. Your friend has cats with extra toes and claws, and they named him Mittens. That's great. I love naming animals like after their features. You know, it's like a mercenary who's named Scar because he's got a scar over his eye. You know, it's an earned name. What are you? This guy's like Bing Bong. Click. All right, what do we got? I guess increase the garbage bag size. Still don't know what the cart does. Let's see. Why are Lana and Archer named that way? Yeah, they're named after the show, Archer. Chrissy says when they first got Lana, her name was Lilith, actually. And it was going to stay that way, but then they got Archer, and suddenly it's like Lana just fit. You would call a nice dark cat Kivuli or Kivulu, meaning shadow in Niswahili. That's cool. That's cool. Okay. Kiwi for short when they misbehave. I would assume I would end up calling that pet like Kiki probably. That's how it always goes. Like 9 times out of 10, I just call Lana like BB. And I go BB. And then, you know, Archer, I'll call him Stinky or Butthead or something. Or Buddy. I probably call him Buddy the most. He probably thinks that's his name. It's really funny because if I call one of them the wrong nickname, I feel like they can tell. Like if I call Lana Buddy, she gets confused. If I call Archer BB, he gets confused. Ooh, y'all. We're getting through it. Huh. Boop, 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 boop. Let's go with power. Hey, Limetown, welcome on in. Alright, where are we at time-wise? Okay, I have my thing up over on my screen over here. I'm going to try and be better about ads. So I'm trying to get better at like watching this thing over here because I can see like when an ad's going to be coming up. And like right now we've got, I don't know, 7 minutes probably before one comes in. But I'll think about trying to sneak that in at an appropriate time. Because if I do it ahead of time, then it moves the timer. So I want to get better at that. I want to get better at that because they always happen at like the most random times and then y'all get stuck in the middle of a conversation, you know? Trying to make your cat respond positively to cat or kitty in case she ever runs out in some way. Oh, that's a good idea! That's a very good idea. I never thought about that before. Just from the perspective of trying to make it easier for other people to potentially refer to your cat. Yeah, I'm terrified of if my cats ever got out. They've never been outside on their own. Which also to me says like what I would be concerned about is where would Archer run to hide? That's what I would be concerned about. Because that would be his first instinct. And there's nothing right near our apartment for him to hide in. Unless he just went and hid against the wall, which I could also see him doing. Like just hiding right outside my door. Clicker training, also very good. Also very, very, very good. I want to do that, like, with Lana. Because I know she could handle it. Archer probably could too. I talk about him like he's not as smart as Lana all the time, but it's really more that he just is like the curiosity killed the cat kind of cat, and Lana's more cautious. But I think they both could be very good at it. Because he is way more responsive when I have in the past to then, like, know what to do to try and ask me again. You know? I'm gonna go do whatever the task was again. You know? It's not common for cats to go outside. Some people have their cats go outside, some don't. It just depends. You know, I live near a forest. There are coyotes that wander the neighborhood. It's just not a safe place for cats to live super long. Oh yeah, and cars, yeah. Cats are terrible at avoiding cars. All animals are. They're not built to understand something that can move that fast when it's that big. Right? So it just depends. It depends. And again, the thing is like if you live on a farm or something or out in the wilderness, like or out in the countryside where you have pests, it makes a lot of sense for you to have a cat that goes outside. But when it's when you live in the city or the suburbs, something like that, it makes more sense for you to have your cat live inside. That's where you want it to be killing pests anyways. And the lifespan of a cat that's an indoor cat versus an outdoor cat, we're talking a decade longer. A decade longer. You lost a cat to the wilderness up in Washington as a kid. Devastating. Yeah. It's sad. It's so sad. I would never be able to. I would never be able to have an outdoor cat. I'd be too worried all the time. I'd be too worried. Like the first night that they didn't come home, I would not be able to sleep. And whenever they did eventually pass, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself for allowing them to be in a situation where that happened. You know what I mean? Let's see. Doot, 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 doot. PC Man, there's a great XKCD. It's a road sign that says, you're in a box on wheels, hurtling along several times faster than evolution could possibly prepare you to go next 5 miles. No, it's very true. We weren't built for it. I was talking to Chrissy about it because we were at the store the other day and it was just like, it was really crowded. And so I was kind of like, you know how it is. The nonsense pops up to price all the time. So I was talking about, there's a little podcast that I listened to way back in the day, Radio Lab. And I'm talking back when there were like maybe 10 podcasts in existence. And they did an episode on cities and like specifically like the speed that cities move at, because different cities have like different paces, different walking speeds, different talking speeds. Like where you grow up and the density of the people around you determines kind of the way that you move. And one of the ways that you can tell is like how people react when around other people moving, and specifically people go at different speeds. But we were in the store and I was talking about like, isn't it wild how we can be like driving down the road and someone can barely like eke over into our lane and we will like have a panic attack, like the way that we respond. It's like, oh my God, my life was just put in danger. And like navigating it requires attention and thought and so much effort to make sure that you are on top of your game on the road. And when you're at the grocery store, you can be like going down an aisle. There can be people packed down that aisle and all of you barely communicating can navigate around one another so that you can all go about your day in this small space, getting all of the things you need in a complex layout without running into anybody. You know? And it's because our brains are built to maneuver around other people. We naturally can read another person, their movements, their body language, where they're going to go, what they're going to do, all this kind of stuff. We have so many great abilities to predict these things. Not for a car. But anyway, so the speeds of different cities, people get really frustrated when they can't properly predict that about other people. PC Man saying, when I visited New York City many years ago, I experienced that firsthand. It was so different. I remember when I got home and it was so quiet because I hadn't gotten used to how loud and so NYC was. Yeah. Chrissy complains a lot, and a lot of people actually complain to me about this. I don't know. I did not grow up in a faster city than all of my friends, but I guess I did grow up with more ADHD than them. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of how my time in Portland. But I walk fast. I'm a fast walker. Always have been. Probably has to do with sports and being raised around here. But I get so many people complaining all the time about how, like, slow down, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, y'all need to speed up. You know, the rest of y'all need to move faster because I'm moving at just a fine pace. Other people are saying I'm power walking, and I'm like, how can you move this slowly? How can you possibly operate and not lose your mind moseying along like this? And so it's just like different people, different speeds, y'all. Different speeds. And I'll say there is reason to believe that literally at a perceptual level, we are experiencing time differently. That, like, those of y'all who move at a slower pace, it is entirely possible that from the experience of life, like of the position of the viewer, right? The position of the soul, we're getting a little spiritual here, but also physics-wise, that you sort of live a longer life. Because you experience it at a slower pace. So like your perceptual speed compared to mine, like you'd be watching the movie at a slower speed, right? As far as you're concerned, as far as I'm concerned, it's the same 100% like same speed of life. None of us are actually experiencing a different world, but you know, it's the pace. Mine's on 1.5x, you know? Metaphysics, PC man, I love it. You seem to zoom past so many people. Yeah, it's just, it's different strokes, y'all, different strokes. So, really interesting stuff, really fascinating stuff. Perception, man. So many people take it for granted. But you know I don't, because I won't shut up about it. I think it's just, I find it so fascinating because it's like, just, it explains so much of our disagreements. It explains so much of like the problems that people face. our communication issues, our angers with one another, our frustrations, our confusions, everything. It's just like if we had a better understanding of our perceptual limitations as a culture and as a whole, as people, if people could be humble and recognize that just because they saw something and they're sure that they saw something and they're sure that they experienced something, that they're unwilling to accept that they could be wrong, even if the other person is also wrong. Both parties can be wrong about something. Everyone involved can be missing components. But it's like for some reason we've developed this concept of like, if there's a confusion or an argument about something, one person's right, one person's wrong. And it's like frequently it's everyone is missing context. Everyone is missing some stuff. Some people are more wrong than others, but, you know. Anyway, point being, if there's anything that you should take away from perception, it's that eyewitness testimony is actually the worst testimony that you could possibly have. Like, the basis of the American legal system and most legal systems is flawed in that it puts far too much emphasis on people's memory. Which is tough, right? Sometimes that's all you have, but it is absolutely the case. Not only are people bad at remembering things in general, but when we are in heightened emotional states, we are even less likely to remember things properly. Because when you're in a state of fight or flight, your brain activates a mode so that it activates, or so that it accesses strategies to survive, so that it's drawing from memory rather than writing to memory, right? It's read versus write, y'all. It's one direction. We're reading when we're trying to survive. When we're in times of chill and contemplation, that is when we are writing. Okay, keep it going. Almost done with this pile, which I'm assuming is the end of the demo. They've done experiments on the whole time goes slower when you're in danger, and it's been proven false. No, yeah, it has to do more with a lack of your brain paying attention to the chronoception thing. Chronoception being the perception of time. You're less aware of it, again, when you're not trying to form episodic memory. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on your training. Yeah, that is an exact way to put it. You can buy the second pile, you don't know about the third one? Okay. Doot. But yeah, exactly, Mike, exactly. That is a great phrase for it. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall back on your training. And that's why so many people are terrible parents. Another thing I talk about that sometimes people don't like. There are bad parents out there. You out there watching this, I love you. You may be a bad parent, okay? If you think you might be, good news, you thinking about that means you're less likely to be one. That's PC man, not me, I'll credit them. Got it. Oh, I read them in sequence and I keep missing. Down with the nuclear family system. Like, just live the style you want to live. Like, my thing is just like, live your life. You would be a horrible parent. Luckily, I never will be. I mean, that's good to recognize. It's good to recognize. Like, it's one of those ones where... Aww! Look at this little guy! Are you alive? Ugh. Okay, anyway. But yeah, like Chrissy and I, you know, earlier this year we were talking about like what do we want to be doing and everything, and actually Chrissy was taking this class where they really have you make like there's a personal decision making class, so they have you make like a board of like, what are your actual goals that you want to accomplish? And like, let's do a priorities list and kind of like lay out what are the things that matter to you and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, after doing that, it was like, oh, you know, kids don't really fit into this picture, you know? Like, we thought we wanted kids, you know? But as far as like everything that like we know we can handle and also what we would like to do with our lives and everything, it's like, oh, they don't really fit. And that's okay. That's okay. We got a niece and nephew. Probably we'll have more down the line. Plenty of kids around if that's the energy that we want. But our lifestyle and just our goals and stuff just don't necessarily align with that. And that's an important thing for you to think about. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people have kids because they're supposed to have kids. And they don't think about it any further than that. And I will say this. Maybe controversial opinion, sort of controversial opinion. I think that it is a mistake to look at a stagnating or reducing size of a population as necessarily a terrible thing. And now this is not me saying like, we need to have less people. Because I'm not one of those like bonkies about it. But I think that trying to insist that people should have children, when we live during a time where automation is actually finally possible, where we could actually create an environment where most of the menial tasks are done automatically, and then we can just live as a thriving populace of people who just get to experience the world, and you know, engage with it in a meaningful way. We have that capacity, and so that has changed the nature of how we should ask and answer these questions, because in the past it was, well, if you don't have enough people, then things are going to fall apart. You're not going to have enough people to do the things that people need to do. We no longer live in that time. So that is something that needs to be considered on a cultural level. That is something that a lot of people aren't willing to think about, and they get very angry if you suggest it. And it's like, that's where it's like, those are the kinds of cultural awakenings and questions that we really need to be having. Getting people to really decide whether or not they actually want to be parents, not they have to be or should be. But then you have like racists and stuff who like think that that's a problem. Look at this airplane! Alligator air. Maybe you go in the cart. Do you go in the cart? Can I put you in the cart? Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Can I put? Ah, okay. That's what it's for. Oops. Huh. Nice. Having a kid requires plan. Let's see. I feel like if I were to have a kid, we get through adoption, but it's not going to drive for me, and the world is just trending towards getting worse. This bounce back as something to consider. But yeah, having a kid requires planning, careful thought, and emotional stability. The Italian brain rot bomber thing. Oh, I don't know what that is. Is that a meme? Is this a lot of brain rot stuff? I don't know a lot of brain rot. I'm realizing that brain rot is just like a specific, like, it's like 2020s memes are brain rot. That's another thing that we've talked about. Ash Cash is like the concept of like adoption or fostering or something like that. Like, I like kids. I'm good with kids. You know. Oh, bird! Yikers. Oh. Try to throw you there. I will place you nicely now. Oh. Rock pigeon, a common city bird often seen in large flocks. Look at that. Cool. But yeah, because that's the other thing. This is like, you know. Oh my god, it's Clippy! Like I'll say, you know, take this in the spirit that I intend it. A lot of people will advocate for adopt, don't shop. Right? When it comes to their pets. They recognize, they will tell you, there are plenty of pets out there that need a loving home. There are plenty of pets out there. Why go to a breeder? right? Where obviously there's also like a lot of lack of ethics and things involved in breeding. But why do that when there are pets that need love and care and affection and a loving home and everything, and you don't have that same energy for kids? The same family, the same people that will say that to you will then turn around and say they could never adopt children, that they have to have their own, that adoption's weird even, right? That to me, I'm gonna need you to match some energy there, y'all. Oh gosh, there's a Bitcoin thing too. Jeez. Okay. Boop. Watch this be worth nothing. Let's see. A plan of fostering cats for some time after cat passes away, probably until a foster failure or something. You don't like calling it foster failure because the purpose is to find their forever home. If it succeeded, why is it a failure? Yeah. No, for sure. One thing that I would say is, I don't know if you have a local cat cafe by you, but we went up to the one in Seattle, and it was so fun because not only do you go and like you get to, you know, have some coffee and hang out with the cats and do all that, but you can adopt from there as well. So you actually can spend some nice quality time with them there, kind of get to know them. And when we went, I was talking to the person who was kind of in there monitoring and whatnot, and they actually took home and fostered some of the cats for a while they were waiting for people to adopt and whatnot. And so it's just like, I don't know, seems really sweet. Multiple fosters? Yeah. So go do that for sure. There's no reason to have another one put into this world when there's a perfectly good one waiting there for a family. One that's gonna probably recognize where it's at and appreciate the hell out of where it ends up in terms of a comforting, loving home with a family, you know? All that attention. Yeah. So, anyway. Back around to the larger point. There are kids in that position, and those kids are in the system, as we call it, and everybody recognizes that the system is broken and yet are unwilling to participate in it, but will gladly throw a random child into the mix, you know? Let's add another one to the system. Oh my gosh, look at this bird. Where do you go? Which spot do you go in? Here? A graceful migrant with a forked tail. The bond swallow. These are cute. I see, so it keeps on adding a new nest each time. It was so nice to get our cat from the Humane Society. He was so gentle, and he had so much of his shots taken care of. Yeah, they always have all that stuff taken care of, too. Vaccines, chips, spay, neutering, everything. The foster ones are always already done because they recognize how important that is to get that done. Yeah. Honestly, like, I think the whole breeder situation is gonna be... I mean, I think it already is kind of on the outs. It'll never fully go away. Once again, the wealthy will always maintain horrific things just because they can. But I think people more and more are recognizing the need, right? From like an emotional standpoint, or like from an environmental standpoint, rather. Taking care of the environment by taking care of the things that are already here. But then there's also like now it's just like the financial one. Why would you spend thousands of dollars to get this pet when you could go and find one who needs a home who's already here rather than is being literally bred for the singular purpose of being your pet? And then, you know, alongside that, you get your unique child, your unique pet. So anyway, I think the scam is like people get used to the idea of like, I want that cat. I want a cat that looks like this. I want this specific cat. And I'm going to tell you right now, every single person I've ever known who has found a pet that they loved, the pet chose them. They went to a place and they sat down and they looked at all these animals there, and their little guy wandered on up to him. You know, their little guy just started playing with him. Their little guy, they just knew, right? But you're not like, you know, looking for a specific one in that environment. You're just going there like, I want this love. I'm going here because I know that I have this space, this capacity for love. I want to give this love over to a little thing, and I want to get some love in return, right? I want companionship. I want something, social interaction, something. If you don't go into it like, this is what I want, you're going to end up finding what you need. Ooh, that was profound, y'all. That was profound. Put that on a flippin' t-shirt. If you don't go in looking for what you want, you're going to come out with what you need. Ooh! Boy, put it on a shirt. Okay. Let's see. Your soul cat definitely chose you. I didn't really recognize it at the time. I have a photo of her on my lap the first night after I got her back. Me rubbing her belly. Yeah. Like, you know. Chrissy chose Archer. Archer chose Chrissy. Right? Like, that's how that went down. And then, when I met Chrissy, Archer chose me. You know? Both of us. He's still both of our child. He still loves both of us. But, like, he very quickly, he came to me and he was like, I don't like everybody, but I like you. You know? And very early on, like we just have like, there's photos and stuff that you can find of me just snuggling with him and everything. And it's like, yeah, he's my little guy. I didn't go out looking for him, right? He came to me with Chrissy, but like, same deal. She didn't go looking for him. She just wanted a cat. I can tell you right now, Chrissy's got Lana, Chrissy's got Archer. Chrissy had a cat that she was fostering as well before both of them. None of them were black cats, even though that's the kind of cat Chrissy wants. You know? So. So that's pets for you. Again, I've just been running around doing this. I've not even been spending the money that I had. Like, my goodness. We have family cat already, but when you move out, me and my friend are taking over one of our friend's cats because they can't take care of as many cats as they have. They're raising Norwegian forest cats. Oh, so those are probably pretty big, huh? Yeah, my younger brother, he got a cat before he went off to college. I think I talked about Einstein before. His cat, Einstein. But when he went off to college, he wasn't able to take Einstein with him. So Einstein had to stay behind at my mom's place for a while. So my mom watched him for a little while. But like that was eh. I would go and feed him and stuff like that. And, you know, he's a cool little guy. Probably like the first cat that I really spent any time with. Sweet little guy. I say little. He's a flippin' Maine Coon. He's massive. But he went and ended up living with my older brother's family, who like they have their two, my niece and nephew, and they love Einstein, and Einstein loves them. And so like it took the time and the space for that to happen. But now like they're besties, you know, they're great. So anyway, I'd say we don't deserve pets. Oh, I found some of my cards. Oh my gosh, I forgot this game was about finding cards. I forgot that that's what this game was even about. Look at this, y'all. It's a Flarp. We found an ultra rare Flarp. Ultra rare. Oh, take it. We got a Grumpoof. Adorable. Take it. Awesome. It's incredible, y'all. I fully forgot that this is a game where we're looking for cards. I was like, no, it's the trash cleaning game. We clean trash. That's our job, is to clean trash. No. We're looking for specific things. They're all the way at the bottom, too. I love it. I mean, makes sense. Just gonna throw all that in there just while I can, you know? Okay. Little bit more. Huh. Yoink. Oh. I'm trying to... Oh. It's confused about what's in my hand. Uh-oh. There we go. Bag is empty. Okay, I need to pick up some trash, I guess, with this bag. It thinks the bok choy is somewhere. Just go ahead and sell all those. And you. Okay. So Now can I get rid of it? Nope. It's going to be stuck there for now. That's fine. Okay. Well then, it looks like I have completed... So this one we can buy. So if we do that... Oh! And now it's trash. Bit of a glitch on that one. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, what time? How long have we been doing this? An hour and 40 minutes. Well, if we're gonna keep playing this, which I'm not sure we are, but if we are, I'm gonna do a restart, or like I'm gonna restart the game, not like restart the file, just to get rid of some of these glitchinesses. We only found one card. We found 3 total. Oh, hey, I can do the dog again, it showed. Who'd we get? Zaprick. He's definitely not like Pikachu. His name is Rick, and he zaps ya. Is there a way to look at my cards? Can you look at them on my computer? No, it's just for upgrades, huh? Ah, my collection. Look at him. This guy. Flarp. Ultra rare. Love it. We love Flarp. Exit. Okay. But... for now, let us go ahead. We'll call it here. People of the YouTubes, hope you're enjoying it. We may play more. We'll see. I'm going to look through what other stuff I downloaded to see if maybe there's something else we want to do. Dog, go. I definitely have enough money. I don't have enough money to pay for the dog. $30. You kidding me? All right. Anyway, y'all, YouTube people, hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't seen it yet, go watch my game about digging a hole video. I dig the whole hole. And part of me wants to gather all the trash. The urge is there. So we'll see. Anyway, later YouTube. Bye-bye.